shouldn't teach you guys about the clap.
Oh, it's coming every single time now. I'm just going to watch for it.
The clap, huh?
You got the clap? We got the clap.
Clap on. Clap off.
The clapper.
The clapper.
Oh, goodness. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Josh Lyon Team Podcast, brought to you by Velocity Lending. I am here with the good Josh Lyon and the way better Dakota Burke.
I don't want to
He
say
has
that.
a beard, man. I'm sorry. It's the beard.
I have a...
You have a scruff. That doesn't count.
But that's as
you have
far
more-
as...
you have
that-
more than you usually
that's how
do.
it's, like, I've been super lazy. That's as far as it goes. It'll be shaved tomorrow.
See?
I got meetings and
That's
things.
why he's way better.
I think you should try a beard, man.
You should try a beard.
Your dad's got
You
one.
can grow a good one.
No, it's so patchy.
It's not
It's not
patchy.
anymore.
No,
All right, well, I'll trim this nastiness and then let it go.
There you go.
yeah.
Because this needs to be trimmed.
Dude, no, mine gets really bad. I think mine actually grows better here than it does on my face.
Yeah.
That weird.
Maybe I'll just like completely shave my head and grow a mean beard, and we'll just leave it at that.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds awful. But yeah, let's do that.
I'm in it.
Yeah, because you can't grow hair above there. You got to grow below.
Yeah, well, I'm bald, so there's that. That's why I wear a hat.
That's why he wears a hat. I wear a hat because I just don't like doing my hair. But anyways, we're not here to talk about our hair and our facial hair because we spent like about a minute talking about that. So what are we talking about today, you guys?
I think we could go longer.
We can go longer. I mean, sure, we can totally turn this podcast from equity to
Because our
hairquity.
fans don't come to hear about
Hairquity?
loans. They come to hear about our personal lives.
Is that what it is? Well, we'll definitely have a podcast that's just going to be us just blabbering about something.
And by fans, I mean my mom.
Your mom. Lorinda, hello.
Because she doesn't hear enough from you.
And Malia. Malia loves watching our stuff. It's so funny.
Does she?
She'll come back from my mom's house like, we watched all the videos today again. I'm like, that's really sweet.
Hey, man. Monetization. She's going to help us out with that.
She's big time.
Gee, I wanted to
We
teach you
still
a
need-
new word today.
What's
We
that?
still need to have her on a podcast though.
Oh, yeah,
do.
we do.
Just a heads up. Go ahead.
I want to teach you a new word.
Flabbergasted.
Equity.
Equity.
Yes. Josh, you
Equity.
want to tell G what equity is?
I don't know what that means.
Oh, crap.
Equity.
He's trying to teach it. So basically what equity is, it's the
equity.
difference between what your home is worth and how much you owe.
Okay.
So that is the difference. So if you own a $500,000 house and you owe $300,000, your equity is
$5.
correct.
Yes.
Or 200, whatever.
$200? That's
Correct.
not a lot of equity then.
No, but I mean, let's get real. So over the last couple years, we've seen a lot of home values appreciating at 15, 20% clips. So people have a lot of equity in their home.
Just kind of going into, is that kind of how like the 2008 kind of thing happened? Because the equity was less than what they owed, right?
Correct.
So basically,
In theory.
I mean, if you're talking about 08, it was like I have 17 homes and they're all on 7-1 arms, which means after 7 years, they're no longer a variable low rate.
Sorry, I guess I should rephrase that. It's more of like when you're under your house, it's kind of like
Underwater?
Yeah,
Correct.
You owe, I mean,
It's when you owe more than the home is
you
worth.
bursted a pipe, but no, yeah, for sure. Okay, gotcha. So now I'm getting this a little bit more.
opposite. Yeah.
Yeah, that's physically underwater.
Yeah.
Is anybody else confused? Because I'm confused right now.
Explain this to me like I was a 3-year-old.
I just did.
So you have a lemonade stand. Oh, that's
So
a
so mommy
surplus,
and
sorry.
daddy give you $5 to run your lemonade stand, right?
Now I have 6. Okay, sorry. Going back into focus. So you're talking about equity. Why is that such an important thing to kind of be like focused on? Because it's not like as if you can just get the money, right?
You can.
Yeah, yeah, you can. There's a lot that you can do with equities.
As you guys can tell, I don't work in this industry, so just a heads up.
there's a lot that you can do with your equity.
Okay.
So one option may potentially be doing a cash out refinance where you can borrow up to 80% of your home's value to eliminate maybe other high interest debt. So let's say you have a credit card that's at 22-23% interest and the monthly payments $400 a month. It may make sense to borrow X amount of money to pay off that debt. Maybe have a little higher of a mortgage payment, but it gets rid of that high interest debt and still, your mortgage rate, even if it's at 5.5%,
You're still saving more money by doing that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, when you're talking about that interest rates, your interest on your mortgage is tax deductible.
That's the big thing.
If you on your credit card, obviously that 22% is not tax deductible. So that's just another benefit of it. So I mean, one thing you can do with your equity is a cash out refi, paying off your debt. It may or may not make sense. We obviously aren't going to do it just for people to do it.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you're at a 3% interest rate, you may not want to have a 5% interest rate. However, it may make sense. We've done a few in the last couple of months where we've paid off a ton of debt, save people, I think it was $800-900 a month, even with a higher interest rate. And now they can live a lot more comfortably.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what it's all about, is you can use that equity. So it's like, I'm not stressing out paying. I'll just use an example. We had some folks who we did a cash out refi. They each had $1,000 plus month payment on their auto loans.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's huge. So we just rolled that in. So at the end of the day, instead of their output being, let's say, $4,000 a month, their output's now $3,000 a month.
And then in that theory, they own the vehicle at that point, right?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they own the vehicle. They still own the house. So that's another benefit of it.
Yeah, so it's not like, you're just, okay, that makes sense. So now I guess here's a good example. Have you guys anything like that with your guys' homes or like anything to
Have I done that?
Yeah.
So here's what
we've done. It's a little bit different.
Here's my biggest thing, and I teach classes on this, and it's about building wealth. It's using that equity in your home to withdraw and then go buy another house.
Gotcha.
So
yeah.
this is my favorite reason of doing it. And we've taught classes. I think I've done a couple of videos on it. But basically, if you own a home, let's say your home is worth $400,000. Okay. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Okay. And you have $250,000 of equity. You can do a home equity line of credit. HELOC, pull out 5%, then rent that home out. It's called a vacating property. So then you can go buy a 4-bedroom at $600,000. So you use that 5% from the old home, use that, put that on the down payment. Now you have 2 properties at, let's say, $1 million plus that are now appreciating.
$1 million plus total value.
Total, yeah. Sorry, my bad, not 2 million total. Appreciating at that 5 to 7 clip, which we're now seeing, which if you guys watched our previous podcast, you learned that. So you have 2 properties that are now going at 5 to 7% per year compared to just one at 450 or 400 or whatever it may be. So you can use that equity for a lot of things. And then also even if you don't do a refinance or you don't do that, I always give people advice to always get a home equity line of credit on your home for
emergencies, remodels as well. I know a couple of friends that have actually done that as well.
Remodels is one thing too. And it may make sense to do a cash out. It may make sense to do a HELOC. It all depends upon everybody's scenario. So we've turned down a lot of refinances. Like, hey, it doesn't make sense. Like, you don't need to do a cash out refi to get $15,000 out. Go down to the bank, get a HELOC. So there's a bunch of different options that you can do with that. So,
well, and the thing that's pretty cool with HELOCs is a lot of the times the only people that do them are like smaller credit unions and banks, and they typically have like a really low starting interest rate on all of them. Like
it depends, because I literally looked at this today. If they're running a promo, so I did one on my primary residence in the second quarter, and I got a 1.99 rate.
Wait, what was that noise? That was really good.
I was just thinking, it was my brain, I guess.
Was that
he was calling his horse
like the Mac wheel? Just spinning. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. That really caught me off guard.
No,
I loved it.
You're good. But they run promos, so it was a 1.99 rate for a
first
year.
12 months, yeah.
Yep. So I went and looked today because I would like to up my home equity line of credit that I currently have, due to the fact of if I want to, go buy another property or whatever it may be, if I need it for an emergency fund, whatever, I would like to have a higher credit limit. I always try to get the highest credit limit you can always ever do. Reason being is how they work on a home equity line of credit, and I feel like we're really just pitching banks right now.
Because we don't do HELOCs. We should have prefaced that.
That's the cool thing about you guys, is that you guys are just trying to help the people just figure out how they need to do things, right?
Absolutely.
Because even if you already own a home, maybe these are things that you just don't know.
Yeah.
Right. So, if you go get $100,000 line of credit, you don't have to go and pull out $100,000. You can pull out $20,000, do a remodel, go on vacation, whatever. You pay that off, and now your balance is at 0, but you still have that line of credit. It's basically like a credit card. So you can use it, pay it off for typically 10 years.
But the only problem with that is that the leverage is your house, right?
Correct. Yeah. It goes against your house, 100%.
Yeah.
And the thing with those HELOCs is that typically they're interest only. So if you make the minimum monthly payment every single month, you're not paying down on the principal of that loan.
Right. You have to pay extra.
Yeah.
There you go. So that's why you shouldn't use them sometimes. And you should just talk to Velocity, and they'll give you some options as well.
It gives you so many options.
I always be honest, because I used to work at a bank, and we would sell HELOCs as an emergency. It's perfect. Because
leverage it.
Right. Is if you go to because you have to qualify for it. It's not just like, hey, I have equity, give me the money. You still have to show your income, show that you can pay for it, all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's a loan application.
100%. So if I lose my job and I then like, well, can I go get a HELOC? They're not going to let you. But if you do it the day before you lose your job and close, then you have that little cushion there just in case. And they're typically like $250, $500 to do.
So, okay, so now we should definitely talk about the products that you guys can offer. Not even necessarily products, but things that you can offer to your people who are either looking to buy a house or even refinancing. What are things that you guys offer to them in that sense of like with their equity?
Well, like what Josh had already talked about is using that equity and pulling from a HELOC and then using that HELOC money as a down payment on the next house.
Okay.
And we can do the financing on that next house. And
Gotcha.
we know the whole process of the refinances. I mean, we've worked with probably every single credit union and bank in all of Northern Colorado at this point.
And I mean, the good thing is it's just when you go and go that route of, hey, I'm going to vacate my current house and go buy another house, you can get a lease and then offset the debt. So it's not like you have to qualify for all these payments. You have to qualify for one.
The new mortgage payment.
It's just the best tool that you can use to help build wealth is use your equity in your current house to go buy a new house. And now you have multiple houses and you can do that. Typically 2 to 3 times. Because every time you buy a new house, you have to buy a bigger, nicer house. It's called a move up. You can't just go buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bath that mirrors your 3-bedroom, 2-bath. You have to have a reason to buy. So I know we're getting into a lot of it, but if anybody has questions, we have phone numbers. You'll get those at the end of the podcast. But it's just a great tool.
Nice.
And a lot of people have done it.
I mean, yeah. The whole thing of building wealth is definitely I think an important thing that
Right. And
sometimes I think we don't think about. For that matter, which is I think is a good way to just kind of introduce that. So if you guys see Josh have any classes, make sure you guys check that out.
Agreed. I teach a bomb move up class. It's probably the best class I teach.
What other classes do you teach, Josh?
First time home buyers, budgeting.
Yoga.
Yoga. I do not teach yoga. I know somebody's wife who teaches yoga, and that's about all I got.
She's the worst. Anyways, on that
Do you
note,
think Heather's gonna watch this? I'm gonna tell her to.
please do. Oh, I talk so much smack on my other podcasts about her. It's great.
Do you? Well,
yeah.
Heather and I grew up together, so that's not fair. And I like her.
Oh, she's awesome. But it's just nice to be like, she's the worst. Because, yeah. Anyways.
We love you, Heather.
So
Thank you
getting
for
off the
coming.
topic.
So if whomever was watching this,
Whoever.
Yeah, whatever. Every other Wednesday, Heather teaches
don't
yoga
think so,
at her
actually.
office.
Sorry, I was going to go to The Office on that one. Sorry, we all love The Office, and I just try to bring it as much as possible. Whomever is Toby, shut up. Anyways, you guys, yeah. So if you guys have any information or questions on regards to that, where can they reach you, lovely fellows at?
970-460-6677.
Or our website, www.nocoatlending.com.
Or you can come visit them here in downtown Windsor in their lovely, lovely area, which
422 Main Street.
they have all the Starburst, by the way.
It's also the old Canvas Credit Union because we had some folks come in here yesterday trying to make a deposit. And I'm like, so sorry, fam. You got to go about a mile that way.
Yeah,
there
that was
you go.
awkward.
It's totally
They
awkward.
were kind of upset about it.
This was actually...
Were they really? Because
Yeah.
I was in my office. That's funny.
I think it was public service, right? And then it became Canvas. Yeah, because
Yep.
I used to use public service. Anyway,
I don't
sorry,
know.
we're totally giving some free endorsements out there, or not endorsements, but
To the
just
credit
some
unions,
shout outs.
yeah, we totally are.
But thank you guys again for tuning in. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure you guys tune in next week because it's going to be, or not next week, next episode, because it's going to be just random. I don't think we're going to be talking about lending as much.
No, lending gets boring.
I mean, it doesn't.
What are you talking about? I love it.
Yeah, it's fun.
I
That's what
love
we
my
do.
job.
So thank you guys again so much. Have a good night. We'll see you guys next time.
Adios.
Laters.
Bye bye.